Hei og velkommen til webinar om moderne intranett med The New Company og franske Lumapps. Webinaret fortsetter nå på engelsk. Hello, welcome to this webinar between The New Company and Lumapps. My name is Morten Myrstad. I am the CEO and the founder of The New Company, which is a digital business consultancy. We are helping businesses to find and implement digital solutions on the workplace so that they can improve the user experience both for customers and for employees. Maybe Mathieu, you could present yourself, please.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Mathieu, one of the account managers at Lumapps. I'm based in London, and Lumapps is a digital workplace / intranet solution to help companies communicate and collaborate internally in a better way.
Thank you, Mathieu. I will shortly introduce the agenda for this webinar today. I will present some lessons learned from the last week's experience of COVID-19 and what it can mean for the workplace. Afterwards, Mathieu will present Lumapps for Norwegian businesses for the first time, and we will also have a question and answer session in the end. So please share your questions in the question tab on the right of your screen in the GoToWebinar. Do that, please, during the webinar as you have a question, and we will then answer it in the end of the presentation. And please add them in English if you could. If not, we will of course be able to translate it into the and see if whether we or Mathieu should answer the questions. So thank you very much so far, and then we are good to go further into the webinar. What about the last weeks? What have we learned and what have we experienced? A lot of people are saying that the real change in businesses and the societies at this experiences has been mind-blowing and has been more or less doing digital transformation in a matter of weeks. So maybe it's not the CEO or the chief technology officer that is really transforming the company, but really COVID-19. At least we have some experiences that we can share, and we are also sharing those experiences in a white paper which we are publishing from the new company, where the white paper is called COVID-19 experiences after the weeks that we have behind us. What about lessons learned? Of course, when a really crisis is happening, the most urgent thing is to get the message out quickly and urgently to the employees so that they can take their message and do the actions that they have to do. Should they, for instance, go to their work? Should they stay at home? What kind of crisis is there? There should be easy and real-time messages to employees when the crisis happens. And therefore, you have to have the channels up and running, whether you are using SMS, email, apps, or whatever kind of channels you are able to use. You have to share it to your employees in their preferred channel. The second experience is that a lot of people will immediately start to ask questions. They will wonder what is now happening. What is going how am I going to organize my work? How I'm going to be safe? So you have to get up inside of your digital workplace a communication hub so that you can share content which is authoritative from your leaders, but also from subject matter experts, so that you can answer every type of questions that your employees have: the what, the why, the who, the next. And you can, in some cases, also share it as a question and answer form. And you also will have to be sure that you have good search functions so that people can get the answers they need. And you have to, of course, update such hubs as you are going and moving through a crisis. For instance, now when you are opening up the businesses for in the more after crisis situation. The third lesson learned is that this is really a comeback for the social community platforms inside of the companies. A lot of leaders have also often asked, do we need it? Do we really need the enterprise social platforms? During this crisis, they have really proved their value, because it's a way to share anxieties, share knowledge, it's a way to relate to each other, and it's also a place where leaders and managers can be visible, accessible, and also show their empathic thoughts about the business and about their employees. A fourth lesson learned is that we really have more or less transformed a lot of companies in the short term. But transformation doesn't only happen about technology. You have to change processes. You have to get people on board, both the organization and the people as such. So maybe we will have to take a thought right now and think about, are we going to just move the transformation further, or do we have to adjust a lot of the learnings that we have from the last weeks? That is also the case with digital collaboration. We are a lot of people that have been experiencing video meetings for the first time, and a lot of people have been having meetings more or less all day. So these days there are many people that are experiencing what you could call Zoom fatigue, that you are tired of being in a meeting on the video screen all day. And to be frank, video meeting is not the only way to collaborate. Maybe it's not even the most effective one. So you have to go through all the tools that you have in your collaborating space, whether it's Microsoft Teams, it's G Suite, or it's Slack, and try to find out how are you going to collaborate more effectively. The sixth lesson learned is that we have experienced now how it is to be working from home. But when we are at home, maybe our spouse is there, our kids are there, and so we are trying to find a way to create an office in our homes. And of course, a lot of us has managed to do that. But is it really representative for how we are going to work remotely in the future? And what will be the future remote experiences and policies? We know that now both leaders and financial directors know that it's possible to give people the possibility to work remote and even work from home or from on the travel. But we will have to find out what kind of recommendations are you going to give to your employees, and what kind of flexibility should they have in their daily work. The seventh lesson learned is that it is possible and it's urgent also to get insights and feedback from your employees after they have experienced the first crisis and you have had the communication channels up and running. You also have to ask your employees, how are they really feeling? What do they need? What are the thoughts about the future? And this should be accessible both on the company level, on the teams level, and also from a manager in one-to-one talks with their employees. The next lesson learned is about learning, because today we don't have a possibility to gather people in the classroom and do a traditional training in the classroom. So therefore, a lot of new way of learning is expanding and it's growing. For instance, micro-learning, where you can split and ask short learning bits, 4 or 5 minutes with your employees. It could also be collaborative learning, where you are learning together with other colleagues in the team. And it could be more virtual events, which has to be replacing the more physical way to gather together in a learning environment. The last lesson learned here is about ideation or innovation. A lot of people have a lot of ideas after the weeks we have been experienced. And how can we gather those ideas so that they are not forgotten? And we can together with different kinds of tools, be able to get people to share their ideas both in an engagement way and also in a structured way. So that is also an important experience from the last weeks. Altogether, and most important thing is that you have to be aware that the customer are not alone, the employees are not alone. Altogether, the brand experience of a company is made up how both we are able both to support the customer experience and the employee experience. And these days, people have, of course, have experience that are both negative, but are also some hope in it. And these experiences we have to share and gather going forward. What about the new company in this situation? We have focused on trying to find and share different kinds of apps and solutions that can get people running and company running on their daily situation, and which can also be shared and implemented on the short term. One is intranet portals, which we will hear more about later in this webinar. The second one is communication apps, which are more than focused on, for instance, the mobile worker. The third one is social, like, for instance, Workplace or Yammer. The fourth one is feedback tools, where you can get surveys from and feedbacks from your employees. The fifth one is training and learning, which I already explained about, for instance, microlearning. And the sixth one is ID management solution. And what we can see in platforms like Lumapps and other modern intranets, a lot of these different features that I'm talking about here are also often a part of an internet portal or a modern internet solution. So what is then the point of having an modern internet solution? And what is happening in the market right now? We can see that for 2 or 3 years ago, people built their internet from the ground up. Today, there are a lot of solutions that are ready to go. They are out-of-the-box solutions that can use so that you can implement and start an internet in a matter of months or weeks. So we have gathered 12 reasons to rent an internet, not to build one. The first one is quick deployment, because it's ready to go, more or less. The second one is that it has good user experience gathered from the way we are used to interact with applications in our consumer life. The third one is that you can have personalized content. That is, you can, for instance, channel the content based on your interest or your organization or your country or your department. The fourth one is that they are already from the start available with a lot of different features, so that you more or less have to decide which one are you going to roll out in the beginning and which one are you going to roll out after some time. The fifth one is intelligent search. These platforms usually have built-in good search, which are able to give relevant results to the employees when they are searching for content. The sixth one is that it's not only top-down communication that are available. Very often, it also supports different kinds of social communication, two-way communication, like, for instance, Lumapps do. The seventh one is that it's a more effective use of resources. Instead of a lot of people starting to build intranets from the ground up, you can instead use the resources, for instance, for content and for design and for change management, so that you are using the company's resources more effectively. The eighth one is that because the platform is more or less ready from the vendor, you can focus on what kind of platform you are going to use and why you are going to use it, so that the communication department and the HR department can be more in the lead of the project. You don't need that much support anymore from the IT department as you will when you are building an intranet. The fifth one is that you can start thinking about the intranet as a living organism. You think about it as a product, and you are working with it also and as a product in year 1 and 2 and 3, instead of thinking about it as a one-time project where you are tired and the energy is used when you are finished to launch it. The 10th is that a modern internet will be out of the box available both for the users via the browser and also via mobile and tablets. The 11th one, which is a really, really important one, is that they often support a lot of different kinds of integrations with different kinds of ecosystems, for instance, G Suite or Office 365. But they can also support different kinds of business solutions like ServiceNow or Salesforce. So then you have more or less a digital workplace which reaches and integrates a lot of different apps in your workplace, instead of thinking of all the apps as silos with no connections to each other. The last one is that these platforms do have great support for administration, for analytics, and for governance. And of course, you need good analytics so that you can adjust the development and the usage of the platform as you go along. So that concludes the lessons learned so far from the latest weeks. And now then you could tell us more about Lumapps then, Mathieu.
Yeah, thank you, Morten. So let me show my screen. So apologies, I need to. Okay, this should work now. Hopefully you all see my screen now. So yeah, thank you again, Morten, for that state of play and summarizing a little bit the situation and the kind of challenges that we are all facing today. So yes, I want to continue this webinar with you to show you a little bit more of what Lumapps can offer during this crisis. So as I said earlier, we are a digital workplace / intranet solution on the cloud. So we provide an internal platform for all types of business from all sizes. And Lumapps has specifically launched an emergency platform for companies to tackle the crisis. So that's a special offer with a quick deployment and free of charge until this summer. So let me show you right now the sort of use case that this offer entails. So first of all, we propose the package solution. So this comes with 9 pre-built use case ready to use. So we provide you with the templates already, with the designing, and you have the choice to customize it and change the layers or the logos. But this is a ready-made platform for you, available in several languages. You have access to social communities and mobile apps, and we also provide you with tutorials and training programs to quickly set you up on the platform. And as I mentioned, this is free of charge until June the 30th. So we want to make sure that during this specific time that companies have the most resources to communicate with everyone in the business at a lower cost. So Morten already mentioned some challenges, but let me summarize them again. So today, for the employees, what is difficult today is really knowing what the HR processes are in the company, what are the impacts for my business activity with the COVID-19 crisis, how to avoid catching as well. So it's always good, to be reminded some best practice and barrier gestures and distances to respect. what are my rights if I get sick, etc., etc. And on the company's point of view, should we institute temporary work policy? What about the furlough processes? How do we communicate the right information to the right people? Is there a central place where we can inform our employees with the latest developments from different governments, and what are the best practices to follow? How can I make sure that my employees are keeping engaged as well? So there are several challenges on both employees and management sides, and this is what we are trying to achieve with Lumapps emergency platform. So two main important things here to mention. Our solution first open new lines of communications. So how do you communicate to all employees? How do you push one messaging, one vision? How do you inform employees with the best guidelines and best practice during this special time? And the second important topic is, how do we ensure business continuity? How do we minimize the impact on business? How do we leverage the digital workplace and the digital tools as well? So Lumapps you can centralize all your different business applications. There is a G Suite or Microsoft integration, so it's all integrated to your productivity suite. So there's a productivity improvement there as well, and business continuity. How do you make sure that your employees are still motivated, they don't get discouraged, and do their work in the best way? So opening lines of communication involve three things: inform, reassure, and assign. So ensure a global coverage of your employees, adapt your communication to your global business. So if you have offices in China, Norway, Denmark, or the UK, how do you make sure that these groups get the right information? So we make sure that Lumapps platform allow you to spread the right information to those specific audience. Reassuring as well. This is a difficult time, and everyone is a bit at stress these days. So how do we make sure we reassure the employees? So Lumapps is a great way to do that. And assign meaning how you identify and name a champion internally to communicate to everyone. So that can be the HR manager or the communication manager. And it's really important that you proceed to that kind of governance appointment to make sure that you have a single source of truth in the business. When it comes to business continuity, informing, enabling, and working is really important. So business continuity, obviously 24/7 access. Lumapps is available all the time. There is no downtime. So employees all around the world can go and check the information on the intranet. You can set up virtual town hall to regularly gather your employees. So for example, personally at Lumapps, this is what we have, and we can jump on a call anytime to ask questions, or just networking with colleagues that we wouldn't know. So it's really important to maintain that connection, that link with other employees. Some people don't have families, or they live on their own. So it's really important to establish that in your intranet. Enabling, so it's good to share the best practice for work, guidelines to work safely, easy access to information, and cost and training materials. Morten mentioned it. The COVID-19 crisis is a great way to build and learn new skills. So the intranet can also be a place where you can display and show those new courses, and work as in to encourage mobile usage. The emergency platform that we provide is also available on mobile app. So you can also connect with your workers that that have to go on the field because they can't do otherwise. So you can keep a line of communication via this channel as well. So let me show you some use case concretely. Lumapps is integrated to your productivity suite. So you connect via your Google or Microsoft single sign-on. So there is no need for an additional password. So that makes the access easier for your employees. We provide you with a mobile app that's available on Android and iOS. So typically, your employees would download on their app store the Lumapps emergency platform app, and they can connect directly via their mobile phone. And news and post updates, such as safety guidelines or office updates. So we provide you with that template and use case already, and you can modify it as you use the intranet. So that's also very efficient way to communicate the information to your employees. Let me show you how a typical Lumapps homepage would look like in the emergency platform. So you would have obviously here the logos, so you can change and insert your own logo. You have the user profile in here that's connected via your Google or Microsoft profile. You can display your banner on top of the homepage that everyone would see in the business, highlight to the latest news and guidelines. You can display the key contacts, so that can be the champions that I mentioned to you. So can be the HR manager or communication manager, and your employees would be able to contact these key crisis staff directly. The latest community posts, so Lumapps provide you with social communities. So this is kind of a forum where people can ask questions, submit new ideas, like, comment, interact with each other. So that's really the social aspects of the platform. And business application, you can show the specific critical applications, push it to the right employees, and the useful links. So you can provide the links for the NHS in the UK or the healthcare system in Norway or Sweden to really show the information and push the information directly to your employees. We provide you also with a news center to employ employees. So on the side, typically you have the search layers. So you can look up by hashtag, by category, by author, or by content type, and you have access to different kind of news around best practice or workplace updates. So again, another way to push and search for the right information. Another use cases, typically commute to work. So especially now that we are easing lockdowns in various countries, what are the best practice? What are the guidelines to follow? It's not the same in France or in the UK. So if you are not sure, your employees can access this page to see if it's okay and safe to come back to work. So having that Lumapps page, the Commute to Work, will help you to do that. So you provide them with support, policies and information, and employees can also ask for advice. So there is also a section where they will fill a question to ask directly to your champions or your security officers. Virtual town hall is another use case we provide you with. So you have a Lumapps homepage, Lumapps page, where you integrate and embed a video live stream. So from Microsoft Streams or YouTube. So you can have your CEO doing a weekly update to all employees. So this is a simple use case, but very efficient. So that's there for you. Let's look at the mobile app and what you get in it. So you have access to the news, to the Lumapps news. So employees can consult the news, like them, and comment them directly. And employees can also receive push notifications on their mobile device. So when a key contact or key news is published in the intranet, you as an employee will get the push notification on the mobile app. So that's another way to reach properly and efficiently all the employees wherever they are. How do we ensure business continuity? So we continue with the use case. Employee directory. So the employee directory is pulled from your Google or Microsoft directory, and that gives you access to the information of all your key workers, email address, phone numbers, location, so you can reach out to anyone you want and find the right colleagues efficiently. We provide you with the communities, as I mentioned earlier, and the mobile app as well. So all of these elements really pave the way for you to ensure a strong business continuity. Finding the right person and the right experts. So when you're not in an office, you can turn to your colleagues to ask for information or know if they have the right knowledge to help you in your tasks. So we want to provide you with a central space where you will have access to the directory of the employees, discuss, exchange, and work together. So at Lumapps, you can have an unlimited number of communities that can be about health, well-being, remote working best practice, crisis communication. Myself at Lumapps, we use the communities a lot to keep the connection, the social connection, but also to keep working together, especially if you work on events, projects, or marketing stuff. The communities is the central space where you can share the information. You can also have a shared drive and shared calendar in those communities. So again, you can see the importance of the communities to maintain business continuity. A use case we give you as well is health and well-being. So you see on the internet all these companies who are doing yoga sessions remotely. Well, we are no exception at Lumapps, and I'm sure that this is something that you are looking at as well. Health and well-being. Everyone knows that it's very important to keep a strong mental health to be happy at work and be efficient. So the communities around those topics are there as well to help you in this crisis. And local and team communities, you can obviously create communities by geographical location or by department to keep sharing content, sharing information, and still feel part of an organization. So from an employee engagement perspective, this is also crucial to have those elements in place. So thank you so much. I hope this is helpful. We can organize a more personalized demo after it if you want more information. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the question section on the GoToWebinar panel. So I will stop sharing my screen. So if you have any questions, please feel free.
Thank you very much, then, Mathieu, for your introduction about Lumapps. And if you are following the new company in the social sphere or on our website, we will continuously share information about modern internets like Lumapps. And of course, we can also be available for questions and answers after the webinar. But if you have any immediate questions, please share them with us. There's no questions at the moment, Michelle? Mathieu, sorry.
No, there's no question. Okay, so that means everything was clear.
Okay, then, just to summarize, that Lumapps is a robust platform that you can implement and develop a large internet platforms going forward for many years. But they also have a platform which is available more or less out of the box, and that can be implemented in a couple of days. And that can be valuable, for instance, in the time we are experiencing right now, also going out of the immediate crisis, going into the more daily work. And we in the new company, we are also then available to help you with implementation together with Lumapps. So we are here for you. Thank you very much then to you, Mathieu, and also to the people that had attended this webinar. There will be a recording that will be shared after the webinar, and we will wish you a great day and still stay connected, stay safe.
Thank you, Morten. Yes, please be safe and have a great day all.